cracking, guys? Welcome back to Stasis. We still need to figure out this thing. Loose cable on the sentry gun base?
Crazy.
No. Can we bash the fucking thing? Wait, that's gonna work? Oh.
It doesn't work like that.
Oh, okay. Can we pull... No? Ah, okay. Node controller received, deadline not active. Right. Alright, so we need to short out the computer to be able to stop that. Right, I get it now. Sweet! Coolio. Alright. We need to get through this glass door now.
I hate doors.
Yeah.
One override. Coming up.
So inconvenient.
Shit, John! The security systems in medical are inaccessible. It's like they've been locally reset. I can't access anything.
I'll think of something.
Can we shoot it? Oh. What, now we can pick it up? The gun is most likely for general security, though desperate measures have been instituted to control Duca-Cola addicts in certain situations. Really? Does it have a normal trigger on it? Alright, John. Calm down. Fucking hell.
Wow.
Bloodstains. Blood, but no bodies. Okay. Let's head out into last way then.
Warning. This area is off limits to all active PDT users. Please see your supervisor for further instructions.
That makes no sense. All PDTs. That's everyone. They must have changed security settings. Stop anyone from heading down below.
Or coming up.
Okay. The atmosphere of Neptune is consuming this vessel as lightning shows the way.
I think I found the crew.
Are they also bloodied up, like the guy under the floor?
You could say that. I'm not sure how many people I'm looking at. It's like something from a eugenics war painting.
Try to push through, John. A few decks below, one step at a time.
There's a PDA. More reading. More story time. April 16th. That utter jerk. I cannot believe that asshole. What kind of a man dubs a girl on their anniversary? Poor Danica's in hysterics. I had to swap my shifts on account of that prick. Sadie made that easy enough. She's such a good friend to me. We were inseparable at nursing school, and so she decided to branch out into botany. Seems she's suited more to general medical research than patient care. That's fine. I don't mind. I prefer working with people to plants anyway. The new walkway in hydroponics is a bonus too. Some of our boys like to scratch the new limbs on the greenway. Who said that the new departments were of no use? This is selfish, I know, but damn it, I've had so much on my plate, I'm having to do serious overtime. And then ungrateful turds like Eric mean I've got even more to deal with. My poor baby sister. Body of a 30-year-old woman, mind of a 16-year-old girl. Apparently he says being the pilot of an Ozymandias is just too much pressure on a relationship. As is that sweet little co-pilot he recently acquired. I've had up to here with pilots. Are they never chasing tail? Well, tonight should be okay, as I've got Danica's coming around with some of the girls, and a shipment of Martian champagne. The budget increase is providing is proving to be a blessing and a curse. We've got more equipment, for sure, but nowhere near enough space for it. If only the Groom Lake was one of those modular types, we might be able to get some extra rooms. Sadie and I are working our butts off around here. God bless Sadie. If it wasn't for her, I'd probably be an alcoholic by now. Danica is still not over her douchebag ex and calls me up crying. Most nights just to talk about how she misses him. Next time I see him, I'm going to punch his lights out. I worry about Danica. She's depressed, not eating, not sleeping. I might ask Garcia to book her in for an appointment. She needs a shrink. Work-wise, the regeneration tanks are working beautifully, but the increased demand for them means we're running short chemical distillation regions, whatever, and the cell growth regeneration fluid is pretty much spent. Speaking of the fluid, it's this new stuff Dr. Milan units has been using. Speaking of fluid, it's this new stuff Dr. Milan's unit has had us using. It's technically the same as the last stuff, but I'm sure the molecular composition is different. Apparently it's 4 times as effective. It seems kinda unpredictable, actually. I've already asked Dr. Harvey to request that we switch back to the old one, which he has done. Twice. Why are they ignoring us? Creates a huge brawl in the mess hall today. All of the guys sweating and looking like they'd OD'd or something. There's been a spike in violent assaults. I swear it has something to do with the new supplies that came in. Ever since that new regen fluid, it seems like everything else is slightly off too. I'm sure of it. Diet, medicines, genetic samples, you name it. I spoke to Sadie and she also swears that there's been tampering. The idea that we've been ingesting bad food for months scares the shit out of me. I'm going to get a friend of mine to analyse some of the samples. Until then, I'm locking my door at night. I'm not sure who I can trust. Sadie's been giving me strange looks too. I might actually change the lock. I don't care anymore. I just don't care. I have to see Danica. I have to. She's with 2 others near the hangars and I'm stuck here in medical. 2 rifles taken from Malone and Bird and a laser scalpel. That's all we have to get there. Sadie keeps fighting me on this and making excuses. She's starting to piss me off. Has that idiot forgotten where we are? That the Groom Lake is now a freaking haunting ground, and my sister is in the middle of it. Hunting, not haunting. I don't fucking care if they come with me. I don't fucking care if they don't come with me. I have to see my sister. I have to know about Danica. I heard her on the radio a day or so ago, so I know she's still alive. She has to be hiding. Danica was always better than me at hide and seek back home. It took hours to find her. Once, Mom sent a search party for her, and she'd been hiding in the bathroom bottom of the garden, tucked inside a dirt hole where Dad was planting beets. She's hiding. She has to be. Sadie is causing me problems. If she won't come with me, I guess I'll have to make her come along, whether she wants to or not. That's 1 PDA done. There doesn't seem to be much in this one. Okay. September 18th. I thought that becoming the new head medical tech on this deck would actually improve things, but it's like being thrown into the lion's den. The lockdown a few months back was a pain, but these inventory discrepancies are a real problem. And then yesterday, the systems went haywire. The first thing Erica does, of course, is call up her little sister to make sure she's okay. I suppose I can understand that. I just wish that, well, I wish she'd ask after me sometimes too. Yesterday during the power outage, I was locked inside a storage room for 2 hours. But Danica's fine, of course, so who cares about me? I was only trapped in a product storage room, with only a plant, cultures and human limbs for company. I took a look at them actually. It's part of my job, with the plants anyway, and I had to do something to keep my mind off things. Good specimens, all of them, except for samples 99D, E, and F. I couldn't for the life of me work out why samples this badly mutated would be permitted anywhere near the greenhouses. These are recent too. Dear God, what imbecile is shipping? Dear God, what imbecile in shipping sent these to storage? Kane's Hydroponics have the strictest quarantine regulations in the galaxy, punishable by losing your damn job. It must be that the new section a few floors down, they've got all kind of fools on the payroll. You know, I usually like to spend my time in the greenhouses, but I swear something's going funny with some of the new crops. Erica said I'm probably just imagining it, but I had a whole batch of brassicas, growth cultures. Jesus Christ. But I had a whole batch of brassicas growth cultures thrown out the other day, showing signs of what looked like Dutch elm disease. How is that possible? I'm going to submit a report. How I'm supposed to explain to Dr. Milan and the board that we have mutant cultures in storage and perfectly good crops with the extinct diseases is another matter. Erica's lost her damn mind. I'm scared of my mind right now. She's dragged us on a fool's errand across the ship to look for Danica. I tried to tell her how I saw one of those things wearing Danica's face the other morning. Oh god, it makes me want to puke just thinking about it. It looked like a deflated balloon. As it scuttled up the walls... a deflated balloon as it scuttled up the walls. I swear N. Garcia fried it with a bolt, but we can't be sure. He's a psychiatrist, not a soldier. Then again, are any of us soldiers? Erica seemed to think that we're in the Marine Corps, waving around that rifle with a crazy look in her eye, threatening to kill anyone who disagreed with her. Erica, I told her, you're a nurse. God, I barely recognize her anymore. What happened to my best friend? What happened to the girl from Stokely, Mississippi? I don't know who Erica Boxer is anymore. Erica died this morning. My friend is gone. One of those horrific things tore her spine out of her body right in front of my eyes. I must be one of the last ones left alive. Not that I've got long. I'm infected with something. I can feel it. I checked out the hydroponics lab this morning. It's a wreck. I could have told them anyone could have told them that trying to breed a new fungus to kill the old one would be disastrous. The rest of it won't budge. I tried tearing it away with a laser scalpel Erica gave me, but it did nothing. Zip, zilt, nada. What doesn't kill it really does make it stronger. I'm going back to retrieve Erica's remains later. I know she died a crazy woman, but she was my friend. I still love her. Notes and reports. From Dr. L. Al Rajakopa to all staff, personal data text. Dear all, for those of you who are still able to receive these messages on the intranet, you'll know by now that the creatures are using our PDTs to proceed past security checkpoints. To prevent this, I've decided that each in turn you'll proceed... To prevent this, I've decided that each in turn you'll proceed under armed guard to the primary surgery pod, where your PDTs will be removed. Once this is done, we will reprogram the security protocols so that they will target all creatures that still possess those tags. Do not answer the doors to your quarters unless confirmed by the designated password. Today that password is Aegis. From S.A. Callister to Dr. G. Milan. Inventory Anonymous. First, allow me to apologise for mailing you directly, but this is a classified red emergency. I've undertaken further inspections beyond samples 99D, E, and F, found that the majority of the inventory has been compromised by tampering. There are signs that the tampering began some time ago. Some of the materials are merely spoiled, but a large quantity appears to have been illegally modified. I'm not sure who the new suppliers are. But the inventory they have provided does not match the chemical manifest included. I'm aware this is a shipping concern rather than a hydroponics one, but Project Seed is based around a successful civilization of hypernutritious plants in unusual conditions. With the current stock we possess, there is no limit to the number of illegal or mutated nutrients going into our plant growth. I'd advise that shipping and medical begin more thorough inspections of the received cargo. I suspect the problems could go back for months, although I have no evidence to prove this. Please recommend the immediate termination of supply runs and decontamination of irrigation pipes until this is resolved. Best regards, Sadie Callister, Hydroponics Technician Level 1. My mouth. From E-Boxer to S.A. Callister, RE Encrypted. Sadie, I love you very much, sweetie, but have you lost your damn mind? Those samples are restricted. What if Dr. Milan finds out you've brought samples from one of the storage bays? From out of one of the storage bays. It's not only your job you'll be losing. I'll do what you ask, but only because you've never been wrong before. Though I pray to God you are this time. Love, Erica. Right, again, a lot of reading. Oh, let me have a drink, quick. Because my mouth is dry. Blood and tissue. The oozing red goop contains flecks of bone and masses of tissue. Ew. Why do we want that? Destroyed sentry gun. You try to tell yourself that you're safe for now. The sensing restored reception.
Formed the womb. Oh, never again. It crawled through the night, and then they grafted their eyes and tore through my skin. Oh, never ever, never again. They came for our mothers and then for our kin, scratching the gut and eating our sin, changing God's work, a seed to begin. We burn them with fire and kill them with men. Let us remember, never again.
Who is this creepy fucking child? The contours of the sleep reception desk perfectly mirror the curvature of the walls. Reception chair. Medical bay terminal. Medical bay. Personal data tag detected. John Marachek. Personal data tag has no security clearance. System is locked. Oh. An entrance to the medical facilities. Well, we can't go through there because it's locked at the moment. I don't even know what this fucking music is, or where it's coming from. Alright, what about this way? Shitload of blood. You can't begin to estimate how many lives were ended here.
Serotonergic receptors are present in your principal vascular system.
I'm sorry, what now? Blood-stained environmental suits. What's this? Although they are saturated with human ISO, the suits are in working order. What we just picked up? Oxygen cylinder.
Profanity, derogatory comments, or other intimidatory
Charged plasma molecules dart across the surface of an invisible electrical
will
field.
not be tolerated.
Right, let's save it here a second. Just can't go through there. I can't go through, but I can look through. Okay, something's ripped through that door. Alright. There is a way this way.
Back. It's been cut open.
Of course! They must have manually removed the PDTs. That's why the security systems were reset in medical.
Oh, the bodies. The bodies in the crew quarters. They were skinned. The creatures were using the PDTs to move through secure areas.
Must have realised what was going on.
So for me to get to the lower decks,
You have to remove your tag.
remove?
Perhaps electric shock. No, that wouldn't work. John? This is the only surefire way.
What are you saying?
The surgery pod should already be programmed to remove it.
It didn't work out so well for this poor woman.
It's the only way, unless you space jump between decks.
This is surgery.
John, prep the pod.
Great. So, we could be dying. Extracted PDT. Several bent spinal hooks protrude from a disengaged personal data. Oh, okay. More reading. Oh my god, this is a lot. Right. January 8th. A new year for the chief surgeon, and a new year for the staff of the medical deck. I have to think of it that way, or it gets rather confusing. The staff of the medical deck now consists of 3 extra sections: cybernetics, tissue regeneration, and for some reason, medical hydroponics. Yes, it may be medical, but as I told Dr. Milan, they are still plants. I don't wish to seem ungrateful. It is Kane Corporation who opened so many new doorways for me, and who redefined the frontiers of medicine for us. Sorry, who redefines the frontiers of medical for us all. As a man who served his apprenticeship on the battlefields, elbow deep in the blood of innocents, to see those deserts and war-torn villages reborn as images of Nirvana is a privilege, and all thanks to the science of Kane, and yet it's hard to understand why. On the Groom Lake, so many departments are being forced to share resources like this. I hear a budget will be up for review soon, and the chances of us getting an increase are slim. I shall try to remain positive. My goodness, a 300% budget increase. I have not yet been able to even imagine how helpful this financial windfall will be. Dr. Milan assured me that a sizable portion of this budget will be applied to Project Seed. It makes our work that much more essential. We'll order new equipment and new samples, although I don't totally agree with the ethics of Dr. Milan's acquisition of volunteers for surgery and testing. The leaps and bounds we've made in our research more make up for the rest of it. Is it wrong that we must test the limits of our morality for greater good? For the greater good? The greater good. I'm a surgeon who has seen many awful things in the blood-soaked abattoirs of the Pangaea Wars, so perhaps this should be second nature to me, but I don't recall agreeing to the use of children for testing. I went to inspect the stasis tubes at the request of my chief nurse and found out that there were several children, some as young as 9 years old, awaiting processing. Children! I was shocked and appalled and demanded an explanation from Dr. Milan. Edward Jenner had to test vaccines on children to see if they'd work, he said. I knew the story. What medical does not? Jenner injected infected purulent exudates, into the child's arm, which must have seemed callous disregard for the child's life. And yet it saved the boy. That is how he convinced me. We are the frontier of the sciences. Chances must be taken. I do not always feel comfortable with the ethic choices, but his logic is sound. The research is too valuable for us to let a few moral qualms get in our way. I fear that my decision to become a surgeon with Kane Corporation is not quite as simple as I thought. The first casualties of the infection spreading across the ship came to my lab, where we had to set up a quarantine operating room. God, my eyes and mouth are going. I had to get hands-on with a patient for the first time in years. The flow of blood, the cutting of infectious tissue using my specialized tools, God forgive me, but I enjoyed it. It's impossible to explain the adrenaline rush from playing God in such a way, of having the lives of so many on the verge of death in your hands. I felt it on the battlefields, and I feel it now. It is not the beauty of birth that moves me, it seems, but the pungent stench of death. I thought I'd join Kane Corporation to save my soul. Instead, it is to slake the thirst of the beast in me, whose jaws slaver at the scent of blood. I am ashamed. How could I not have seen it? Those awful life forms that is disguising themselves as us, inside us. They wear our skins and our PDTs, which explains how security systems cannot detect them. If I didn't already know where those creatures came from, this would perhaps be less frightening. But they've learned. The vile abomination, what a word that is. It appears to summarize what we have created in our hubris. We have created evil. God help us all. Right, that's the same thing. Aegis. Dr. Milan has recalibrated his guidelines for subjects in Project Seed, and specifically the requirements for any female subjects who have previously been pregnant. The female subjects should ideally have been screened, but their precise source is not important. Since the project has a 99.89% chance of non-fatal reaction in subjects, members of staff will be eligible for this test. The ideal subject is as follows: blood type O negative, height between 5'5" and 6 foot, free of any genetic defects, age between 18 and 40. Subjects must have recently been pregnant, ideally within the past year. Regards, Dr. C. Backman. We have disagreed often, but never so more than now. I'm aware that Miss Callister doesn't work in surgery and that Chief Nurse Boxer has seniority in terms of rank. However, Callister has one of the most extraordinary organizational minds I've ever worked with. The product storage areas are clean and well indexed. Therefore, I have to challenge your demand that I remove her from her position because of these false reports. She has been sending you about anomalies in the supplies. I have no doubt that your claims of her illicitly taking samples is also only an accusation. She is a fine worker and reports only what she feels is right. I'll be taking no action against her. You are in charge of the projects, but you must allow me to choose my staff at my own discretion. Regards, Isaiah. God, my jaw fucking kills. Right. Steel tank storage oxygen-rich components under high pressure. Compounds. Oxygen storage tank. Cryopreservation tank. This thick, viscous syrup is a cocktail of cryoprotectant and synthetic amniotic fluids. Anesthetic. In a surgery suite, at least one of these will be anesthetic. Your guess is that this is one. Okay, I guess I'm gonna have to get on this then. Right, how do I... medical machinery... Organic receptacle... Discarded. Hospital bed. A call to rest, to sleep. Okay, how do I work this then? Not by hiccuping, that's for sure.
What is not properly prepared for the selected program.
This is a friendly reminder that thought crime does not entail death. This is a final request for Whitley Bellino to report
Wait, what?
to Communications Array 18.
Confuzzled? Oxygen.
I don't think this will fit.
Ah.
I think that'll just break it. I don't think this will fit. I think that would break.
Organic receptacle, oxygen storage tank. Right, okay.
This isn't gonna work. This isn't going to work.
Wait, what?
I don't think this will fit. These don't go well together. This should be useful.
Ah, there we go.
MedTech surgical pot is not properly prepared for the selected program.
Right. So the last thing we need. Organic receptacle. Hold on.
Okay, organic matter receptacle requires refined biological tissue.
I can try to make it fit, but it may break.
Refined biological tissue. How do we...
I can't see it working like that.
No? Okay. Ah. Right.
I can't see it working like that.
Organic receptacle. So tray, we didn't get the things back, did we? No. Are there no other... There's nothing here that we can use? Oh shit, we're out of time. Fuck. Too busy doing this and not looking at the timer. Right, so we'll have to carry this on next time. I need to find out how the hell I managed to refine this lot. But we'll do that for next time. But anyway guys, thank you all so very much for watching this episode, and I will see you all next time, and as ever, bye bye.